All right, Larry. What up? You are muted. Unmute yourself.
Morning, morning. Happy Friday, y'all. Happy Friday, Kim.
Oh shit. What happened here? Am I okay? I'm back. Okay.
You are back.
All right. Wait, hold on. Something's happening with this.
No worries.
Oh shoot. What is going on here? Quit the music. Okay. I don't know what was going on with my sound, and hopefully you guys didn't hear the random video that played. But hey, everyone, welcome. As you're jumping on in, let me know where you're tuning in from. Bill is coming in right now. Yay, Bill!
Hey,
What
Bill.
up? Today is gonna be an interview as well as a discussion on sales. If you guys need help with your sales, hashtag help with sales. And then we'll also be talking about our live event happening in Orlando, Florida as well. I want to introduce everyone here to my team member, Larry. He sells consistently $100,000 months, and he's a badass with closing, and he is very much, it's like a steady thing for him now, and it's not something that is maybe should, it's like for sure. So cool. Bill is coming in from South Florida. And also, let me know, what is the number one biggest objection that you get. Type down your objection that you hear from your potential clients as someone is enrolling. Like, what's the biggest thing people tell you where you're like, I don't know how to answer that? Or, you're like, oh, they say that. And then I'm just like, I can't enroll them, Kim. So let me know what it is. Bill's like, hi, Larry. Hey, and if
What's
you
up, Bill?
guys are just jumping on, make sure you smash that heart button. I want the rest of this group to know that this is going on. And we're answering your sales questions. And let me create the banner. Give me a second, Larry. Let's see how to sell 100K a month consistently. Okay. All right. Let's do that. Interview with Larry. Wait, let me do that. Interview with Larry.
I love how the banner's
Interview with
matching my shirt, Kim.
Larry
Must be planned it or something.
Antiporda. Okay. Can you hear me? Is
Yeah,
my microphone good? I
yeah.
can't hear you, Larry. Like, make
You
sure
hear
you
me?
go to your settings and
Okay.
change it to the right microphone. Go to cam mic and change it to the correct one. Can you do
Got
that?
it. Can you hear me loud and clear now?
Can't hear you though. Hey, does everyone hear Larry? Because I mean, if I can't hear Larry, then let me make sure that I can.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I'm supposed to
playing.
hear you, Larry,
Yeah.
but I don't hear you.
Hmm.
Can you exit and come back in, but make sure the settings is correct for your
Yeah,
microphone?
no
Oh, you
worries.
hear him? Oh my gosh, you hear him and I can't hear him? What's going on? Give me a second. Audio is. Oh, no wonder. Okay, okay, I should hear you now.
Cool. Can
Say
you hear me
something.
loud and clear now?
Oh my gosh, it was me this whole time. Sorry, everyone.
Beautiful. Hey, that's Friday morning for you. It's all right. We're here to have fun. So sometimes that happens.
Yay, Larry's in the house. All
Cool,
right.
cool, cool. Let's kick this off.
So Larry, let's kick this off by talking about, like, how did you come into this high ticket world?
Yeah.
A lot of people, it does take courage to sell high ticket because it breaks your brain in your own worth and everything like that. So what are the sequence and series of events that led you into selling high ticket?
Yeah, that's actually a really great question. So one of the things for that I've discovered is high ticket sales, right? Is when you really have a great relationship with the space and actually learn to love sales instead of shy away from it. It's one of the most fun and fulfilling things in the world, right? So how I actually got started was I actually got started in the digital marketing space about 5 years, but I've been in high ticket sales specifically for about three, right? And so,
Three
who I
years.
am, for anyone who doesn't know me here, I'm Larry Antiporda. I'm a high ticket sales advisor, but also a sales coach for entrepreneurs in the online space. So, really, my mission is to help people learn this new wave of selling because this old world that was kind of created in the 1960s, 70s doesn't really work that well in the high ticket space. So once I really learned how to learn this new wave of selling and really operate from this new world, That's when I really started making the income, the impact, and most importantly, the fun when it actually came to high ticket sales. So I got started in this 3 years ago, right? I got started kind of in the agency space, selling high ticket there. And now I'm very much in the coaching programs of, whether it's entrepreneurs who have other coaching programs or people who have masterminds. That's really the space that I find myself in now. Just because one, I get to make a lot of money, but also two, I get to see a direct impact on the clients that I work with in the coaching space.
Yeah, I think I spoke to a sales development rep from another company the other day, and he's like, I left my 9 to 5
Yeah.
for this, and he took a pay cut initially, and I'm like, why would you do that? And he's like, well, the first time in my life I'm actually contributing to changing people's lives. Whereas before he was just clocking in, clocking out. He doesn't see the direct impact, and it gave me this reality, this realization that if you are a coach, if you are stepping into your own self and going, hey, I want to do this, there's going to be people like him who will take pay cuts to join you on this mission because of that. uh, the impact is so fulfilling, it's almost intoxicating,
Yes.
to the point where it's like, whoa, this can be my life, like versus living the same year over and over again for like a decade, just like clocking in, clocking out, but not feeling like you're directly attached to, real impact. um, is makes me feel so optimistic that you will always find people to rally with you on this journey, and then you're creating jobs where they're just happy showing up on a daily, weekly basis. And the biggest thing about team retention, team growth, is that they feel like they feel valued, they feel they're making money too, and all those things. And it's just in this environment, although there's a whole stigma upon the guru nation, there's all the stigma that can be negative, it's so crazy positive that you yourself have the energy and the power to have people attract to your world like that if you step into becoming a coach. So that's what I realized the other day, and I'm like, wow, this is really cool.
I'm really glad
So
you
yeah.
said that, Kim, because that reminds me of something, right, y'all? Like, she said something super important there, which is this idea of being energized, optimistic, waking up each day for what you're doing, right? So I have a question for the audience, right? Like, who here obviously wants to make a bigger impact, income, and take their business to a next level next year, right? Drop a me in the chat. But
Yeah.
here's an even more important question, which is who here wants to make a bigger impact, income, and take their business to a next level and keep their peace of mind and not burn out? Because that second piece is what I really had to learn, y'all. Right. And if that resonates with you, drop a me too in the chat, because that's what I discovered with a high ticket sales space. Was I used to be the corporate, the corporate robot in sales, right? I sold for companies like Salesforce, MindBody, big Fortune 500 companies, $1 million deals, but I never felt like I actually was impacting the people that I was working with because I was just making another big corporate company more money. So when I really stepped into enrollment sales and this high ticket coaching space, this place that's so beautiful, it truly does not feel like work. Sales for me is a way for me to actually just help people transform into a better version of themselves. And I truly believe that now because I've aligned myself with the right vehicle for transformation, not just in myself, but for every single business owner, entrepreneur that I talk to on a daily basis.
I love that. I love how you describe it as beautiful.
Thanks.
Let's get into the nitty gritty of like what does it take to, because selling $100,000 months consistently takes a what does it take as for you, what are the ways in which you had to transform, how are the things in which you have to show up to be able to do that, whether that's tactically or whether that's because during these interviews I want to have my people also get like good golden nuggets that they can go and
Absolutely.
implement, as well as that mindset shift uh, too. So, what are the things that you feel made a dent and made an impact in how you're able to reach these numbers? Because these numbers are not something that is common or even normal in anyone's world out there. 99% of the population, really.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. Yeah, so for anyone out there who's looking to really learn how to start making sales at a high level like this, the two things that are really important is one, the actual mechanics and process, right? So I call this like the science of sales. But the one that most people fail to miss, and they don't really get this right away, is the actual art of sales, which is really understanding the mindset, the principles, energetics. And so when you really combine the art and the science, you really get kind of that sweet spot of where not only are you making a lot of money, but it starts becoming something that's consistent, that's predictable, and that isn't draining. So I'll tell you, kind of give you all a little bit insight of how I learned sales, because then it might help you kind of understand how to improve your kind of bottleneck in sales processes right now. So I got mentorship from two main people that really catapulted my sales to the next level, right? Because when I was first getting started, I was making about 20, 30, 40K per month in high ticket sales. That was okay, right? But I really wanted to take things to, that six figure revenue generating months. And so what I realized is it wasn't just about the how, because I could learn all the mechanics and figure it out on YouTube, like all these things like Grant Cardone. They're out there. But what I actually found was even more important was the who. And so who I actually met was one, Eli Wild, who's Tony Robbins' number one sales rep. He's made over nine figures in his sales career. I call him like the Pablo Picasso of sales. He's such an artist when it comes to this whole thing, right? When it comes to how to get it energetically primed for sales, how to really fix your biology and think of yourself almost as an athlete so that you can show up consistently each day and perform, right? And also just the complete mindset of how to truly serve and enroll people in sales. But it wasn't just Eli that was fundamental. I had another mentor come into the space, which is Jeremy Miner. He's like the mad scientist of the space. I would almost think of him as like the Nikola Tesla or the Albert Einstein. Like he has the mechanics down to such a science that the process there with Jeremy in his NEPQ method, which is neuro emotional persuasion questions, when I combine that with Eli's art, I now found what I call a little bit of that yin and yang effect for sales. And so for anyone out there, it's not about just having the right mechanics, process, and knowing the tactics. That's important, but it's also really important to first foundationally understand the principles, sales philosophy, how to get energetically in state before sales calls. All these things, when you mix them together, really find you in alignment with how to powerfully get to those six figure months. So I can talk a little bit about mechanics, I can talk a little bit about principles, but I just want to check in with you, Cam, the rest of the audience here. Is that all making sense? Does that resonate with y'all? How does that kind of resonate with where you guys are currently at sales?
yeah, and drop in the comments what is the level of sales that you're at now. Are you enrolling at a 10K level? Were you like Larry that used to do 40K a month? And then doubling that, more than doubling. That's a big leap. So let me know what level of sales are you at right now, or how many clients are you enrolling, and what's the price point of those clients. What I want to say, Larry, is this such a small world because I am like in voice communication with Eli. He just like he messaged me the other day, gave me a voicemail. And at Funnel Hacking Live, I sat at the same table as Jeremy Miner, and people were like approaching him. And I'm like, who are you? Like, why are people approaching you like this? So it's such a small world. I
Right.
feel like I spoke to Eli Wild's business partner, another Eli, just
Yeah, also
yesterday.
Eli Sanchez. Yeah, he's
Yes,
amazing.
Eli. Oh, Eli Sanchez. Yeah, and then yeah, we might be actually working with them in the very near future, like maybe in a month or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really excited. Definitely the cool thing about this, hey Bill, thanks for showing up and participating.
Love
You
that, Bill.
guys, smash that heart button if you are finding value from this training. If you want to fix your sales, hashtag fix my sales. Bill says 997 to 3K and a 5K program. Awesome, Bill. Bill, how many people are you enrolling per month right now? Drop it in there, and at the 5K level. And so the good news is that I'm glad that you say that there's a science to this, and it's only a matter of getting there, because that means that it can be almost limitless. The potential of you being able to forge the type of income you want in this life, as long as you master this this sales skill, right? And this enrollment skill. So, and people before you have figured it out. They figured out how to do it, and they can guide you on how to like fix the things that you're doing, so that you could go from here to here and possibly even beyond that.
Like,
Yay! T Lahoy says hashtag fix my sales. Yes, T. So
love
if you hashtag fix your sales, let me know where you're at right now. What's your point A right now? Like for Larry, months and months ago he was at 40K a month, and then now he's doing 100K. So let me know like what's your point B. Bill says he's just launching. All right, Bill. 0. Okay, Bill. I guess you are at the very beginning. So Larry, I want to ask you. Let's dive into the mechanics of it.
yes.
What are the so you're doing 40K consistently? What are the tweaks that you did? Whether that's behavioral or or like script wise.
Yeah.
Just tell me like how did you increase? What happened?
Yeah, I can definitely walk you all through the process. So let's talk a little bit about the science, right? Because I think the biggest, lowest hanging fruit for anyone who wants to double or even triple, their sales, is really making sure that you have an amazing call script, right? This is your actual call structure. One of the things that I realized, Kim, was my structure was all over the place. Sometimes I would do this thing, sometimes I would do that, and it was a little bit, I guess, ad hoc, right? It'd be a little bit different every time. And I didn't really know where to guide the prospect. And so, why that's a problem is if you don't have a solid call structure, right? It's going to be really hard to identify what parts of your call are actually successful and that you need to do more of, and what parts are not going super well and that you actually need to improve. It's kind of like paid ads, right? If you don't know what the leaky parts of your ad system are, like if you don't know you need to actually tweak the ad copy or the funnels, or you're not even tracking that data at all, it's really hard to actually optimize that. It's the same exact thing with sales. So when you have a clear structure that we follow, and most importantly, the right call structure, that's when you can actually work on improving. Because then it's just about tweaking one section at a time and then stacking those wins, stacking those actual improvements on top of each other, right? So
Yeah.
that's one piece, is really making sure that you actually have the call structure in line. The call structure that I use is NEPQ, right? Jeremy Miner's call structure. I really love it because it works with human emotion and human psychology rather than against it. I used to kind of be in the
Mhm.
old world of selling, which is very much like Grant Cardone, like used car salesman. And while, hey, here's the thing, different call structures and processes work, right? They've obviously have gotten sales in the past, but we're living in a new era of selling and in buying where it's the highest level of distrust of all time, right?
It's kind of
Everyone
true.
is sold, right? Everyone's getting sold something. So kind of
Yeah.
like in marketing and paid ads, right? They have that saying in marketing where this is the cheapest marketing and paid ads are ever going to be, right? Because it's always going to get more expensive with paid ads as things are getting saturated. I have a saying in sales where this is going to be actually the easiest it's going to be able to sell, meaning it gets harder and harder and harder each year to sell because more and more people are trying to sell people actual products and programs and services. The market is always getting saturated. So if we don't align ourselves with the new wave of selling, we're going to get left behind where this top 10 percentile of people using this new wave are going to take 90% of the market share, and the other 90% are just going to get left behind with the last 10%. So why it's super important that you have this new process and new way of selling and understand how to actually enroll people powerfully through a process here, you're going to get left behind. So I was at a crossroads and I realized I can either continue to sell the way I've always sold, kind of the old way, Grant Cardone, very pushy, very salesy, very like uphill battle, or I could just learn the new way and actually align myself with how the new wave of salespeople are actually enrolling people. So that's what I had discovered. So that's really the key, y'all, is find a call process that's going to work for you in this new world. Of course, I'm biased. I recommend NEPQ because Jeremy and his team have something that's just beautiful when it comes to this stuff.
And for those of you who are just watching, what does NEPQ again mean?
Right. It's neuro emotional persuasion questions. Right. Neuro emotional persuasion questions.
Okay. I listened to what's his name, Alex Hermosi. I kind of am obsessed with him right now. I'm just watching his videos, and he said one of the things that helped his team increase their close rate from 12%, which is like cold, to because he sells a $40,000 package to cold people.
Yeah.
At first it was 12%, but it increased to 44% when he had people go through their best calls at least like a few times a week, where it's like they're listening to their own best calls, their own closes, and then also going role playing with each other, so in the morning, going over the script. They would go over their script silently one more time, and then they'll do a role play with the script, because intonation change the game. Just like how he said that you could have the same script as Jerry Seinfeld and
Yeah.
like go on stage in a comedy setting, and then you will bomb. But he'll say the exact same words that he said, that is the script, and he will succeed because of the pausing and the intonation and the way that it's delivered. Um, and that's something that if he kept his team close to that, then yeah, then they increase their sales. For
Right.
you, what do you say to that? I mean, I just watched a YouTube video and I'm just regurgitating stuff. So I'm just like, what has been your experience in terms of either a similar example where you changed the way that you behaved with your routine? What does your routine look like in terms of when you were trying to, when you went from 40 to 100K?
Yeah, great question. And first thing, I love that, Kim, because I 100% agree. Right. That kind of falls into a little bit of the art of sales, right? Really making sure that, you know, things like cadence, y'all, tonality, how you actually have some spaces in how you talk, right? That's cadence. All this is sub communication that actually is what Kim was talking about, increases your closing rate. And so one of the routines that I really got into, this might actually sound a little funny, but was actually working on my voice. So doing vocal warm-ups, doing role plays, talking in front of a mirror, going over my script like several times to the point that I felt like I could actually memorize this thing and not have to have a script on sales calls. The way that I invite you guys to think about sales is almost think of yourself as an athlete, right? A sales athlete. Naval Ravikant actually said this, which is like when you're like an entrepreneur, you're not really paid on time. You're paid on performance and results. Just kind of like how athletes are paid on the performance, right? And so there's a few things that athletes do, right? They practice. So in sales, that means actually studying your script, optimizing it, tweaking it, making sure the actual language and words are things that you would use, right? Because that's a big mistake is some people just read off a script and it's not anything how they like sound and talk. So when they actually get on the call, they sound super awkward and robotic. So how we fix that is take some time, 30, an hour, 20 minutes, whatever it is, to actually optimize the script that y'all have right now and tweak it to your own language, right? Like I say y'all a lot. So I would actually put that in my script. So that's one piece. is you got to practice. Go through the role plays like Kim was talking about. Go through the call script. Talk in front of a mirror and just practice actually going through it. Right? Fall in love with your voice there. Number two, what else do athletes do? Well, athletes, they perform, right? So when you're actually taking the sales call, be super present to the conversation that you're having. Turn off the phones, turn off the computers, just have a notepad, and it's just you and the other person on the line. When you're performing, right, you got to stay laser focused and you got to really be able to what I call deeply listen, right? They always say we have two ears and one mouth for a reason. And when I really learned how to deeply listen during a sales call, my closing rates started to go from 15, 20% to now I'm closing anywhere from 50 to 60%, 70% on offers made. And it wasn't through talking more, it was actually through talking less and listening deeper. So that's another thing. When you're performing, perform. If an athlete is super not focused or is not engaged in his game, he's not going to perform well. So it's the same thing with sales, right? So you have the
Mhm.
practice, you have the performance, and then third is you got to have recovery. This is a big piece that people miss, which is they go, 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 and never take the time to actually get their biology back. They're not, spending some free time to unwind from the day, meditate, exercise. They forget all that stuff. And then they wake up the next morning or next week and they're like, why are my sales dropping? Well, it's because you're super exhausted. You never took the time to actually recover, right? And so, in that recovery period, as entrepreneurs or as business owners, as coaches, we have to intentionally recover so that we can show up to each call 100% ready to help powerfully change someone's life. And then the last piece is review, meaning going over your call reviews, figuring out what pieces could we improve upon. What's one thing that I could have done better? Do an end of day reflection, of end of week reflection. All these data points and all this feedback that you kind of are coaching yourself on, you can now turn that into actual gold nuggets for your following calls. So when we really operate like an athlete, y'all, whether it's practicing, performing, recovery, or review, when you align those four things, that's what really allowed me to go from 40 to 100K per month. Those four primary categories and pillars there.
Oh man, that is so good. You have it like pretty much down, which is great. When you're talking to me about all those things, I feel like, yeah, for the most part, when entrepreneurs and coaches come into coaching or they're just selling, they're just so ecstatically happy that they could sell one package. And then so the journey to where you are is for the most part a very long one of like just self-realization
Yep.
that you suck, like that you're enrolling, but like what are you doing kind of thing. And and then they stumble upon this realization way later on, so they're really just, I don't know, losing a ton of money, leaving a ton of money on the table,
Right.
just because they don't approach it in that manner from the get-go. They just approach it like, oh, I'm gonna have a landing page and I'm gonna sales funnel, and then I'll have like this environment, I'll pitch. But then they don't go all the way to the point where, oh, I gotta review my calls, I gotta, recover, because they don't even have that many calls to recover from,
Right.
period. And
Yeah.
so all the things you're talking about, I feel, is a later on realization after they have volume, that they're like, oh shoot, now I gotta like figure out what is going on. And
Yeah.
to have them realize that a lot sooner in their journey, would save them from a lot of, just a lot, would make them way more money and save them from a lot of painful experiences of jumping on way too many phone calls and like literally not closing. um, and going, I don't understand what's going on, why is this wrong. It's because they don't even have the wherewithal to look at this experience as its own separate, like, triathlete, athlete training journey.
Yes.
It's what
Exactly.
I've seen.
Exactly. Yeah. That is spot on there.
Yeah, you guys. So like that's also why I brought Larry in and to interview him. I'm going to be interviewing him more frequently to talk about these things because if you're at the beginning of your journey, hearing things like this, being exposed to it is like light years of beneficial kind of thing. Because for me, when I started converting and doing sales, I didn't think about any of this stuff. Period. I just go, okay, I need to get clients, and so I'm gonna learn how to sell, and I'll watch a few videos over here, and I'll do it. I did learn from a coach that taught me the value of deep listening.
Yeah,
So I thank him for that. I didn't get into sales with Grant Cardone or like all those types of another method. It was the deep listening, empathetic method that I learned sales from. And I didn't really have to change my method or my techniques or learn from multiple people. I just learned from one dude and it just worked.
yeah,
And so I'm grateful for that. But here's the thing, I don't know. What if when I entered into this high ticket space, I invested into a different environment that didn't, jive with me, that isn't part of the way things are moving, that is more hard hitting, really straightforward, like kind of like more aggressive,
yeah.
then I probably wouldn't have the success, of enrollment that I have now, or being able to even train someone else to be able to listen deeply and, have more conversions. So yeah, the exposure of what you guys are hearing right now from Larry, take it not just with like, oh, that's nice that Larry is doing that, but also start implementing it as part of the way that you think about sales, because sales is the lifeblood of any business, and there's nothing that you have liked, loved, and own right now that wasn't sold to you. It's what I've my mentor Alex Moscow, that's who I learned from. He's like, you're either enrolling yourself into their excuses, and oh, I don't have money, blah blah blah, I don't have time,
Yeah.
or you could possibly enroll them into this future. You're selling their future for to them, where they clearly see it and they're willing to step into it, and they will change your entire life in one conversation, and you're enrolling them into that dream.
Right.
And having one so when he's like, so when you have a conversation, when it is a sales conversation, it's so sacred, because one conversation can change a whole person's life. And if I didn't give it that kind of credence and that kind of like respect, then I don't know, I would be a little bit more careless. I would be a little bit less. I would listen less. So treating every single call with respect, that it can change a person's entire life, is so important when it
Can
comes
we
to
talk about that a
sales.
little bit, Kim? Because what you're saying is so beautiful. Like this right here is actually how I really see sales as well. I learned this from Brad Newman. He had this saying. Brad's an
I
amazing.
love Brad.
Brad is amazing. I love it. He's also been a huge like sales mentor for me. He always had this saying. He said, "Sales is sacred. Sales is spiritual. We are creating a container for someone to undergo transformation in whatever that 30, 45, 60-minute call. So before I enter any sales call, I create that intention within myself so that I can help someone actually get enrolled into that vision, right? Because when we're stepping into leadership in sales and we're actually guiding someone through a process to powerfully transform themselves, that first call is that first impression of how it is going to be like to work with you. It's kind of like a first date. If you mess up the first date, they're not showing up for that second one, right? And so if you really like, let's say you have a crush on someone, you want to be intentional. You want to actually show up. You want to be present. It's the same thing with a sales call, y'all. Really treat this as the most important conversation for this person, because one powerful conversation can not only change your life if that was being impacted to you, but you can change someone's life in that moment. So I love that you said that, Kim. I just want to add.
Well, I like that you see sales the same way. It's similar the way I do. I don't have any training from Jeremy Miner or Eli Wild, both of them, um, but they're like good. From what I've heard, their
They are. They are.
reputation precedes them for sure. Um, but let's talk about this event that's coming up. So we're gonna be in Orlando, Florida. Let me share my screen and show you guys what we're doing. So we actually have, thanks, Bill. Agree. Exactly. Amazing. Thank you, Bill. So I'm gonna share my screen and I'll show you guys here the event that's coming up. It is March 3rd to the 6th in Orlando, Florida. If you have a question about the event in terms of like what's going to happen, well, actually, I'm going to go over it right now. We are having it be 45 up to 50 people, so it's more intimate. There's not a ton of people in the room, so you're not, crowded with hundreds of people. Maybe you want that, but this is more an intimate mansion mastermind where you're going to get to meet and greet 6 to 7 to 8 to 9 figure entrepreneurs running successful businesses in today's economy, investors, coaches, consultants. A lot of the people, we have Nate McAllister who's coming and he's really big in the e-com space. We have clients there who are like Lonnie doing $100,000 months with her coaching business. We have just crazy badasses that are showing up. And actually, we're about to be sold out very shortly. I think there's already over 30 people by now. And then we're capping it at 45 to 50. You get a roadmap on what group monetization experts are doing today to increase revenue, increase profitability, and remove complexity. We're not having like a ton of speakers come because it's mostly workshop environment where it's our team. And we have a credit expert there. We have a DeFi expert there. And Nate McAllister will be hosting a workshop on simple software because he's made over millions of dollars from his software, Chrome extension for Amazon, and he has a Facebook group of 50,000 members. So we have absolute rock stars there. You get a playbook on how a simple software can get you high ticket clients and passive recurring income for life. So I will pull back the curtains on what it takes to think about, create, launch, and scale your own simple software business that can be completely ran by your team. So you can create another stream of income for yourself and generate a source of leads. Not only will you learn how to make money during a time where most people are closing the doors, but you'll learn how to keep your money. We'll show you what credit experts are doing to help you keep the income you earn, and learn how to get access to hundreds and thousands of dollars of funding at 0% interest rate. So why is this important? Is because your own clients can afford your program. You can leverage credit as well and have travel perks and travel for free. And you can watch as we break down our hiring process for building out a scalable team for your Facebook group as you scale that out. Handling all the day-to-day information by yourself isn't the reason why you started growing your group. We have professionally catered and healthy breakfast and lunch both Friday and Saturday, so you can focus on absorbing every drop of knowledge. Video recordings of the entire event. If you can't make it to the live, you can still go and experience it virtually. We also have a virtual ticket option. Hashtag virtual ticket if you want to get the virtual ticket. The live ticket itself, we want to make sure that you're a good fit in order to come just as much as is it a good use of your time. So hashtag Orlando if you are interested in coming, and then we'll do a very quick 10-minute call with you, 5 to 10 minute call to see if you are qualified and it fits you to come. Also, breakout sessions for certain lessons with our experienced coaches. So again, it is workshop style environment. The event itself is meant to generate revenue while you're there. It is not just learn. It's also implement while you're there. And these are the pictures of the location itself. I rented out a multi-million-dollar mansion. It's ginormous. There are game rooms, and there's an Avengers room.
My favorite
There's a
room.
theater. Uh huh.
That Avengers room is so cool. That's my favorite room.
Yeah, it looks pretty dope. And so there's also we'll have our VIP dining experience here. It's kind of fancy, and I like it. And so and then we have. Actually, I don't think we have a spot left at the mansion. We might. Hashtag mansion room if you want a room at the mansion. I believe it might be all sold out by now. But there might be one room left. So hashtag mansion if you want to get more details on how you can even stay there. We have our team there. We have also our clients there. Speakers are there as well. And we also have some people who purchased the mansion room as well there. Okay, so with all that said, we have amazing testimonials from our past event. And then we have a little trailer here, which I'm going to play for you guys. Let me know if you guys hear the sound. Let me see. Do you hear the sound, Larry?
Let me see. No, I actually don't hear the sound, Kim.
Oh, you don't?
No, I don't hear anything there.
Oh no. Hold on. Let me share a video. Let me share a video file then. So I think I can just play it from the video file. Let's see, downloads. This is great. I'm just like searching around for it. Give me a second.
No worries.
Event, live event. Oh, here it is. All right. Hurry up, Kim. Shoot. Okay, I found it. Okay.
Got it?
Yeah, I'll play it right now.
This whole experience has been absolutely life-changing.
Just being able to connect with so many different people, that was awesome.
Everybody wants a little piece of the cake.
I created this event because live events changed my life.
Time to throw it down and show me what you got. If you think you're so.
She's a wonderful person online, even a nicer person when you get to meet her.
We're not normal. We're weird. We're quirky. And we're extraordinarily qualified to help and transform people's lives.
She's exactly who you see online. She really cares about the people who are here.
Yeah, show me what you got. If you think you're so hot, wanna make it to the top. You gotta hang with the big shots. Yeah, show me what you got.
All right.
You're having these mind-blowing conversations with these amazing entrepreneurs, and every single moment of this retreat has just been life-changing.
Kim is really inspiring to me because she cares so much. Like, you can see her she's just really available for people, and a lot of coaching, especially at events. She genuinely cares.
To be in an environment of like-minded people that share the similar energy as I do, and being able to like talk with other business folks in like a really fun environment and just learn and grow together.
She's like this little badass all by herself, but she's got these powerhouse people who are also equally invested in their people's success. And the mastermind was awesome by itself, and of course that all led to me joining the inner circle. You get how warm she is. She knows everybody's first and last name. She knows where they are in their business, and it's clear that she is deeply committed to her clients' results. She just wants the world for her people, and that really comes through.
To be able to network with the people who are surrounding you in your space that are a little bit higher level, just going, okay, I didn't think about that. That was kind of nice to see.
I thought it was going to be more like a seminar. Like, there was also a lot of like actionable items that we were taking that we implemented, and I was able to close deals, and it was amazing.
Coming here, I met like amazing people who are further than I've been, who've given me like super pointed advice, and they're also willing to help.
I think I got a lot more than I asked for because it really brought together a community of people who are like-minded, which was, for me, amazing to network with such high-level people.
She brings a lot of value. Her team is absolutely incredible. Every single person that I had a conversation with was extremely valuable, and so you can just tell the type of people that she attracts to her events.
And I always feel like when you're with people of a similar mindset, you're going to learn a lot more. And that's really what happened for me this weekend.
I would say if you're a beginning entrepreneur, you should be here. If you come here, you get all the knowledge, and it's just, to me, it's amazing.
Yeah, if you're a coach, I would recommend this event because it goes over like high ticket sales, creating your value ladder, how to automate your business. You're kind of like, you're bulletproofing your business in that way.
No matter what stage you're at, you will benefit from attending one of these events.
I really hope anyone can take advantage of this. Any entrepreneur, inspiring entrepreneur, anyone that can that wants to make their dreams come true and take their business to the next level, I think they should be all here.
The offer here is that you're connected to a team that's basically turnkey. Once you tap into this turnkey system, it's going to help your business grow to the next level, no matter where you're at.
All right. That's what happened at the last one. So the next one is going to be amazing.
What an
All right.
amazing
So, so hashtag Orlando if you want a ticket to the event. I put the link there too if you want to go straight to there. groupconvert.com/live-2022. And thank you so much, Larry, for showing up today. If you guys have any questions, you can also reach out to Larry as well. He's going to be at the event. My team is going to be at the event. And the event is meant for you to really carve out time to take care of what's important for your business. All right. So I'll see everyone in the next video. Bye, everyone. Thank you, Larry.